Hi everyone. I'm really excited to be bringing you more information about the Term 1 2020 Teach Along. Let's have a look of what you can expect. The Term 1 Teach Along is 5 weeks, and over those 5 weeks, I'm going to work with you as you teach to help you plan and prepare for the lessons that come. So you can see here that I've broken down the whole structure of the text-based approach into the 5 weeks, and each week we will go through one of those areas in a live planning session where I will tell you about it and help you plan in the moment so that you walk away from the session with your planning already done for that part of your English teaching for the next week. All too often, trying to interpret the curriculum and put it into practice feels like this. You know, if you have been teaching in one area of the school and now you're teaching in another, it can feel like you're going all the way back to being a graduate again. You have a whole nother lot of curriculum to learn, a whole nother lot of expectations to understand around what children can do and can't do and should do and shouldn't. So don't think that this kind of PL opportunity is only for those new to teaching. If you've been out of teaching for a little while and you've come back, you will have noticed there's been quite a few changes in the last 5 to 10 years. So I hope that by making this opportunity available, that I can support as many people as possible to feel confident and happy in their teaching. Teaching using a text-based approach and in the way that I really want to share with you is systematic. There's no random acts of improvement, no random acts of teaching. It's step by step, predictable, so that you can develop the skills and your students can feel comfortable in what they're going to learn. It's really simple. Teaching doesn't have to be complicated. I'm not a fan of the next bright shiny thing. What I'll be teaching you is how to take a lot of what you already know and systematize it so that it's predictable and reduces your cognitive load. You'll learn how to expand your students' oral language skills because all reading and writing floats on a sea of oral language. Asking children to just take a pencil and write without language preparation work first leaves many of them feeling helpless. Once you've developed the oral language skills, you can learn how to apply it and how to help them apply it to their writing, and that's where you see the real growth. I'm really pleased that there is so much information out there now about what the evidence tells us of reading and writing instruction. It just makes me so happy to be part of a profession that's getting on the bus. We are all moving in the same direction. We're building networks. We're sharing amongst ourselves. But it can be really hard to know how to structure your teaching so you're hitting all the points. Here we've got the Simple View of Reading and Scarborough's Reading Ropes, two absolutely fantastic graphics to help us understand about reading instruction and teaching to the evidence. There's also a simple view of writing that, for me, is really useful in helping me unpack what I'm doing in my teaching and why I'm doing it. This teach along is very intentional in the parts of the evidence that it addresses. So you can see here that there are particular parts of the reading rope, your phonics and your decoding and those word level, nuts and bolts kind of skills around the actual act of lifting words from the page are taught separately. The teach along, particularly using text as a model for learning, addresses some of those other areas at the top of the rope that can be a little bit challenging to know how to do that. So this teach along will absolutely show you how to build these areas for your students. In terms of writing, again, we leave the nuts and bolts tasks to another time. So there's fundamentals of transcription, the spelling, the handwriting, the being able to map the sounds into words. Those things are taught separately. We're not trying to embed those skills into our broader work. Our text-based work, where we build language, is around developing sentence-level oral proficiency, which we can then combine to use for our text level oral language and writing work. I've talked a lot in the last couple of weeks about the importance of oral language and scaffolding that with an I do, we do, you approach. So there's a little bit of do, talk, record in this, which is, really sound language building practice. And that's combined with that gradual release of responsibility model where we're modeling for students, we're engaging them in joint work. That goes beyond I'll choose a couple of students to give me answers and write on the board before we ask students to participate in writing on their own. I shared this slide in my last video, and I wanted to show you that there is method to my madness, that the things I've shared with you are just small snippets of a broader plan. This is the overarching view of what a unit looks like. So the first section's in the purple is building the field, then in the green we are modelling and deconstructing and providing supported practice at word and sentence level, and then finally in the blue we move on to the text level and we have students working at that level and then having our reflection and discussion. So you can take the points that are underneath this graphic and program your own unit straight from here. You don't have to participate in the teach along for that. But I will say that by participating, you'll be streamlining your learning so that you're not left wondering, am I doing it right? You'll have the opportunity to ask questions, to share with each other and learn from other teachers who are working in this way for the first time, just as you will be. As teachers, we are all as different as our students are. So what I share with you is not intended to be prescriptive. It's intended to be supportive. So just as our students work in different ways, so do teachers. You've seen the broader overview that I shared on the previous slide. For some people, that's enough. The rest can live in their head and they can run with it and go from there. But other people like to plan in more detail, and there's no right way. We're not university students. We don't have to write lesson plans for everything. It doesn't have to be bigger than Ben-Hur. But if you're not particularly confident in an area, or you're someone who likes to plan in detail so that you have it all stored in your head and ready to go, every step of the way through the teach along, there will be planning sheets like this one. So this planning sheet is for character descriptions, and I shared with you some methodology in my first video. So on the left-hand side there, you'll see the teaching steps. You don't have to hold in your head, what am I supposed to do now? They're all there and you can tick it off as you go. The bit on the right is about putting the details in so that you're being really intentional in your approach. And at the bottom of that right-hand section, you can see a link to the Australian Curriculum Scope and Sequence. For our participants, who are joining us from North America, I'm working at the moment on developing these with your Common Core standards that are your standards from the United States, and also looking into some Canadian standards as well, because I want this to be relevant to you. So there will be the relevant planning documents that you can then use to be rigorous and certain that you are actually covering everything you need to. So what exactly are you getting? I've talked about the evidence base and how the teach along and the text-based approach addresses the evidence of the simple view of reading and the simple view of writing. But what you'll also get, besides the certainty of knowing you're working in an evidence-based way, is 5 video sessions. These are recorded, so they're available for download. You can keep them forever, so that when you plan subsequent units, you can replay the videos and you can follow the methodology to plan your next units. What I really don't want to happen is that you plan a unit with me, it goes well, and then you don't know where to go to from there on your own. I want you to be supported into the future. I've shown you some of the simple planning documents, and there will be a teacher guide with a little bit more information for you. And these are all of the things that you'll need to plan your full 5-week unit. The other really beneficial thing is collaboration. And just as we know that building collaboration for our students is great, we also can get real benefit out of that from collaborating as teachers. So you might have 2 Year 2 teachers in your school, or maybe there's no one else in your school who wants to work in this way or will be. You can find someone within the group. who will be able to plan with you. You can bounce ideas off each other. One of the things that I really enjoy facilitating for my teachers is that one person says, I'll go and do the preparation for this lesson and you do it for the next lesson. So you're halving your workload. That's really valuable. And the evidence is clear that collaborative planning results in better outcomes for students because we can bounce off each other. We're not, a boat all in the ocean on our own. So you will have access to forums, to collaborate with other people, but you can share as little or as much as you like. If that scares you, then don't feel pressured. You're not going to be called out to participate in a way that you're not comfortable with, but that opportunity will certainly be there for you. So that's it. That's the opportunity that I have for you. I'm inviting you to start a journey with me for the next Teach Along, which is all about building language for writing, written to the Australian curriculum in a way that's flexible enough for you to be able to meet the needs of your students. This is a limited offer, however. There are only 40 places in total. Some of those are already booked. So please don't miss out. It's first come, first served. There's no price difference if you sign up today or tomorrow. However, you may miss out, and that 40 is firm. So please get in touch with me if you have any questions at all. If you're eager to sign up, and I hope that you are, you can just go to jocelynseymour.education.com, and the first page you come across will be the Professional Learning Opportunities page. Click through the links and you can sign up there. Remember, you're not alone in teaching. We are all here together. We all doubt ourselves on a daily basis, and my aim is that I can help to alleviate that doubt so that you can regain your weekends, you can regain your well-being, and really get great outcomes for kids. Looking forward to seeing you. Bye-bye.